What's up, maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac if you will, and today we are going to talk about my favorite top 3 things that have happened in wrestling in this first half of the year. We are now halfway through 2020, and despite the world just being in a very funny place, we have still got wrestling. It hasn't stopped, despite some opinions saying that yes, it should have stopped being televised and recorded as well. So as a top 3, I will let you guys know my favorite things that have happened in wrestling the first half of 2020. On this channel, WrestleManiac UK, I talk everything WWE and AEW, so if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. So without further ado, let's get into the top 3. Number 3, Asuka. Asuka has now been put back on top where she deserves to be. She had a really good run with the tag titles with Kairi Sane, but this is Asuka, the dominant force, the Raw Women's Champion. This is where she should be, carrying that belt, destroying people in her path. I think she's back where she needs to be. We're getting reminded of what made her so dominant, you know, when she came to the main roster. Obviously she was coming from NXT with an undefeated record. She's now kind of got back to where she used to be, and with increased character. Like, Asuka is just something else, and I think that's what's really done it for me. We know Asuka can kind of be that killer almost all the time, but it's the character, like the screaming Japanese, the dancing. It's like a dual personality, and it's really brilliant. And when Becky Lynch went on her leave, I don't think there was anybody else to kind of fill her boots as that champion at that time than Asuka. So Asuka has been one of my highlights of wrestling in 2020 so far. Number 2, Drew McIntyre. I mean, what can I say? Drew McIntyre is the total package right now. He's brilliant on the mic, looks like a champion, carries himself like a champion. Everything from his run from about late last year when he really started building him up, winning the Rumble, beating Lesnar at WrestleMania, you know, had a second match at WrestleMania against Big Show, if you didn't know. Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank, the ongoing back and forth between MVP, Bobby Lashley. This is what we want as fans, as a champion. Like, I'm really enjoying him as champion. I haven't seen anyone have anything negative to say about Drew, and I feel like it's been a long time since we've got a real champion, like a real character that it really embraces being a champion and acts like it and shows up, and he is becoming a real face of the brand. And yeah, I'm really enjoying McIntyre's work, and that is why he's made this list. If you are enjoying my top 3 so far, please make sure you have hit the like button. Thank you very much. Now, a few honorable mentions before we get on to number 1. I've really enjoyed over in AEW Britt Baker. I think she has been brilliant. I think Britt Baker is money, and it's not going to be very long before they put the women's championship on her. I mean, I know she's injured right now. Shida's a really good champion, and Shida deserves it as well, but Britt Baker has just been doing some phenomenal work, and she needs to be recognized sooner rather than later. Chris Jericho on commentary in the height of the pandemic on AEW. He was so entertaining, very much now like how we have Samoa Joe back on commentary on WWE. I mean, these guys, great talkers, great performers. They're just good for the business, good to have around, and yeah, I've really enjoyed them. Right, so number 1, my favorite thing that has happened in wrestling in the last 6 months is cinematic matches. These have done so well. Generally, they have done so well. I mean, I can think of maybe one that I didn't really like or didn't really do much for me, but generally these have just come across so well, from a production point of view to how wrestling has been adapted to outside of a ring. It's just been great. My favorite from WWE has got to be the Boneyard match. That was something else. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I thought I was just watching, you know, a regular TV show or something. Like, it was so good. AJ Styles Undertaker was so good. And then AEW, the Stadium Stampede, hilarious. Like, I've never laughed so much whilst watching wrestling. Like, it was so good. And yes, cinematic matches have kind of come to the forefront of wrestling now as a short-term fix because of the pandemic, but I really hope they are here to stay. Some stories are best told in those settings, and not necessarily in a ring. They can provide so much more to the story. Also, some wrestlers are probably better in such setting and not so much a ring. With Undertaker and everything he's been through, I think the Boneyard match was perfect for him. Also, it looks like we're going to get some type of swamp match between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman, and that seems that it'll work very well with the story they're going to tell. So it does work. I hope they're here to stay beyond the pandemic. So guys, those are my top 3 favorite things that have happened in wrestling in the first 6 months of 2020. Was there anything I missed out or something you would have put in there? Drop it down below in the comments and we'll have a chat about it. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit the like button. It does a lot for my channel, so I'd really appreciate that. And if you're new here, welcome. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.